the hate army
Big
troll.
It's the hate army,
bro. Hate army.
Shout
that
out
guy.
to
Hate army. Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Here's the thing. There is a strong possibility. Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Okay? But here's the deal of what's going on right now. As you know, there is a documentary on Review Tech USA that is going to go live in the coming weeks, the next 1 to 2 weeks, okay? I have a hunch that it's going to go live not this weekend, but probably the second weekend of August, okay? A hunch. I don't have a guarantee, I have a hunch. That's all I'm going to say, all right? I want to react to the Review Tech USA documentary. That's going to be a big thing. It's an hour long, but you know me, when I react to these things, it usually takes 2-3 hours, so it's going to be a lengthy react to this. I need to make time in my schedule for this, okay? Well, there has been strong interest in seeing a crossover event between myself and the Kino Casino guys over on Kick. All right? Now listen, before we get into it, I'm well aware that these guys have been very critical of me. They've insulted me and my wife. They have done this kind of stuff. They've also done it to a million other people too. And I've actually had some positive interactions with these guys over the last couple of weeks. And we've had some conversations back and forth. We basically have a understanding, all right, that we kind of want to maybe even do this together, all right, like a co-op commentary on the Review Tech documentary, all right, and we're trying to work out the logistics of that, like how would it work, who would appear on whose channel, etc., all right, and we're working that out right now. But the only way that we can actually get this to work would be to do a test. We can't just do it the day of. We have to test it first so we have it working. So when this thing, the documentary actually drops, we could be like, okay, here we go. We're ready to go. Right? So, in the next week, there is a very strong possibility that one night I'm going to appear on the Kino Casino show over on Kick. I will not even broadcast it on my end. It will just be, I'll just be a guest on their show for a couple of hours during what would have normally been my late night stream slot. I'll just be over there on their show for a couple of hours to test the waters, to see how it goes. All right. Technically and everything, but also let's see, you know, how does it work? All right. And if it works fine, then cool, we'll do the co-op commentary on the Rich thing. If it doesn't work and I don't feel like it's a good fit, or if we have issues or whatever, then we won't do it. But I feel like this makes sense to give it a shot and give it a try and see how it works, all right? It's only one night stream. It's not like I'm sacrificing an entire day or anything for this. It would be one night stream this week that I would be on their show. Now, I'm currently waiting to hear from them on their broadcast schedule for next week to see which night would make more sense, and then the logistics of when I'd be available. I would join them for a couple hours as a guest. I probably wouldn't be there for the whole show, but for a chunk of it or whatever, okay? Now, we'll see how, again, it's a test. We'll see how it goes. All right? So that's coming in the next week. So one of these night streams, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. Well, not Friday. I'm not here Friday. But one of those night streams, likely when they're broadcasting, I'm going to join their stream and just see how it goes together and go from there. Okay? Fair enough? All right. So again, I'm not over-promising and under-delivering here. It's a possibility. We got to work out the logistics. I think it eventually would work. If we could get the technical stuff working and see if, you know, with their audience, how it works and everything. But it could be a good time. We're going to find out together and go from there. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't ever have to do it again, right? But at least it's a shot of doing something, right? Like I said, I've now watched their show twice, and each time I was in the chat, they were incredibly nice. Their audience has been great, coming over, watching my stuff, checking it out, and even supporting it. And I'm like, well, that's nice of them. So give it a shot. And if it does, again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's okay. All right? So if we try it and it works, then we will have the kinks worked out, and we'll be able to figure out how to make that work for the Review Tech React coming up in that next week. Like I said, I have a hunch it's going to be probably not this weekend, but next weekend. that review tech documentary will drop on June the King's channel, and therefore, if it does, we'll be ready to go. We won't be scrambling. It'll just be ready to go. Okay, it's live. Let's get set up. Let's do this, guys, right? Fair enough? And listen, I totally understand. There's so many people who are in the chat right now, and they're like, we don't think this is going to work. We're apprehensive. You're not the only ones. I'm not jumping into this thing full face forward. I'm not. All right? I'm not. And I'm skeptical too. I've been treated pretty poorly by the vast majority of people on the internet over the years, right? I really have. And because of that, it's hard to have trust that people aren't going to turn it into something toxic and messed up towards me and my audience. But I'm going to give it a try. And it's not going to be me fully committing to anything. It's me testing the waters, right? And going from there. So let's see what happens, all right? Sometimes you got to dip your toe into the water and see what the temperature is. All right? Fair enough? Okay. All right. So there you go. And by the way, I'm sure these guys are going to be watching this back, and also they're going to be seeing tons of people in my chat are saying they've been incredibly mean, not only to you, but your wife as well. Is that acceptable? No, of course it's not acceptable. Do you not think that that's something that I would have issue with? First of all,
do you really think that's something they're going to do when I'm on the show? Of course not, right? And they know now that anything that they say, I'm going to get wind of it. Like, they know that.
Right? So, obviously, we're going to see what happens, right? There's one thing when they were treating me as kind of like this outsider, but now the fact that we've had a couple nights of good conversation on their show, me in the chat or whatever, and we're having some behind-the-scenes conversations, we have some mutual interests and stuff we want to cover, attitudes can change. I didn't know anything about these guys until like a week ago. So, this is all new to me too, right? So, there you go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. You want to insult me, go for it. Call me whatever the hell you want. Say whatever you want about me. I don't think you should be bringing my wife into it. She has nothing to do with any of this. All right, hello everybody. Phil and Kat here, and welcome to a special video that we've been planning on working on for a while. Kat has been living with me now for a month. In fact, as of tonight, as of midnight tonight, you'll have been here exactly 1 month.
Yeah.
In Washington, living with me, and what's going on, everyone?
So there have been a lot of
welcome everyone to the
in
stream.
regards to my viewership and my fan
I have
base
some information to
asking,
update here
why
as we
hasn't
begin.
Phil done videos
Surprise,
with
surprise,
Kat? Why
you
aren't
guys
there
weren't
vlogs?
expecting this.
Why hasn't she been in gameplay?
But Kat was
Why hasn't
actually
she been
sitting
on
next to me the whole
streams?
time.
She was here the whole time. Everything you guys said, every little dirty thing you said.
So now you're all in
of course you got the
trouble.
negative idiots who constantly have to spin it in a negative way that something must be wrong. The stream chat is chaos right now. Very simple. Just to kind of explain a little bit about what's going on. And that's kind of what you're planning on doing exactly what to expect moving forward in the future.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome.
Jasper.
Welcome to the Burnell family stream here on DSP Gaming. How are you all this evening? I hope that you're doing well, and I welcome you here to the show. The first of maybe many, we'll see. As we already have Jasper here, and by the way, that wasn't planned. We had no idea what was going to happen with Jasper when we came in here and turned on the cameras and everything. We didn't even know if he'd be afraid to come in here, because remember, we've not even done a stream together since we had Jasper. That's how long it's been. The last time Kat was on stream was 2018. All right. So good evening, everyone. Would you like to say hello to the audience?
Hello.
Number one, no, this is not a pregnancy announcement. I don't know who put that seed in everyone's mind. It's not correct at all. This is not that whatsoever. And number two, we are not here to talk about any documentary. All right. So already people are asking, what about the documentary? Is this part of the documentary? Is Kat going to be in the documentary? This has nothing to do with the documentary. Therefore, don't ask questions about the documentary. This has nothing to do with it at all. So we're just going to ignore those questions. All right. But it's going to be like a normal late night chill stream for us. We're going to just hang out. and we're going to talk. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to do shout outs for contributions. It's just going to be like a family night hangout. Jasper's in here. He's probably going to be running around the office, jumping all over the chair and doing silly stuff because we're in here together. All right. So we're going to get started. First of all, before you ask, I don't think you should be bringing my wife into it. She has nothing to do with any of this. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. Here's the truth. If you don't want them to be a part of it, then you shouldn't bring it up. Correct? Like, there's things that I absolutely want nothing to do with in my life. I don't bring them up. But anything that I actively choose to bring up on a stream, that's on me because I brought it up, right? For example, as you know, I've been having some personal issues for the past 2 or so years, and I haven't ever told you guys what they are, okay? I just tell you, sometimes I'm really stressed out. Sometimes it screws up my schedule, you know, but you don't know what they are. But you don't know why? Because I don't want that to be part of my content. I don't want that to be a burden on my viewers. I don't want you guys to absolutely know every little thing that's going on in my personal life. Technically, it's none of your business. If there's literal facts on the internet about someone because they chose to expose that to the internet and bring it up, why would that not be fair game for a documentary? I don't think you should be bringing my wife into it. She has nothing to do with any of this. You know what I mean? Nothing. So, okay. Excuse me. I'm very excited you're going on the casino. Well, again, it's a test, right? It's a test to see how things go. Hopefully it works out, and we go from there. You gotta understand, you know, yeah, it's risky, and I'm apprehensive about it because I have been treated like crap by a lot of people over the years. So it's kind of hard to trust, you know? I was absolutely assured by the side scrollers that as long as I did the interview that they wanted, that then that would clear the air and I'd be able to be a guest on their show, which was supposed to be the whole point of me doing it. And then immediately after the interview, they stopped talking to me. They say they don't want to have any evidence of my innocence. They don't care anymore. And they basically don't trust me. They got what they wanted out of it, and that was that. Then all of a sudden, when they realized that their popularity was waning again, they started contacting me. Oh, will you be on our show? Will you play Street Fighter with us? Will you do this and that? No. No, stupid. You already used me. I'm not going to waste my time with you. Right? So, yeah, I am apprehensive about it, about trusting other people, you know? But we'll see what happens. Okay? All right. On the tip side of stuff, I'm already watching my documentary. Someone says, if you're going to watch the Rich video, does that mean you're going to watch your own documentary? I'm already watching my own documentary. 100%. Here's the difference, all right? And this has to be called out. The Rich documentary is an hour long. I could do a co-op commentary with those guys, and it'll take like a stream to do, probably like 2-3 hours, and that'll be it. With my documentary, guys, is 4 hours long. Literally, it's the most in-depth documentary June the King has ever done, ever. All right? To cover that alone would take an insane amount of time. You understand? So, the problem is also, from what I'm going to understand, my documentary is going to drop either in late August or early September. Guess what's going on in late August and early September? So, FYI, what I think I will do when my documentary drops, what I may do is this. Day stream gameplay, night stream react to my documentary for an hour or two. Day stream gameplay, night stream react to my documentary for an hour or two. And I might have to split it up like that because there's no way I could just do my documentary and then get so behind on all the games that I'm supposed to be playing. As much as I know it's going to be stuff people want, they want to see me react to it, I've got to split that kind of content. It can't just be ignore all the game releases now. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see, because again, without having a concrete release date, it's very hard to plan around it, you see? So no, I'm going to be reacting to it slowly but surely over time. And like I said, if we get to this stuff, one of the things that I don't think I ever want to react about, when they're going to get into fake financial shit that's been made up about me on the internet, stuff that people have fabricated about me playing mobile games and stuff, there's no point to saying anything about it. I've not only have I legally been advised by lawyers not to talk about it, but I've already been down this road. It's like I've said, It's the devil I know versus the devil I don't. Right now, the devil I know is that a ridiculous amount of people on the internet want to believe that I'm some kind of a gambling mobile game addict who spends all his time and money playing mobile games. Okay? That's what I've dealt with for the past 4 to 5 years. That's already been out there. That's the story. I'm still here. I'm still happy. I'm still have a good life, even with a bunch of people believing that nonsense. Okay? The flip side of that would be the devil I don't know. If I go out of my way to dispute what their claims and I show you evidence to say, see, here's what's really going on. All of that evidence can literally be used to create more problems for myself and my family and my business. And it's like, do I really want high-level possible disruptions? Because you know how crazy insane my haters are. So they will go to any lengths whatsoever to use any piece of information presented to hurt me or my family members or other people as well around the whole, gamut of what I do streaming and all of that. So does it make sense to put yourself into more risk when the risk that you already have been in is over with? Like, everyone already believes the nonsense. Let them believe it. I don't care. I still get to have the life I have, stream, have fun, and enjoy myself. And I know the truth. And, who cares? Right? Who gives a shit about the dumb shit that these idiots say? The things that they say about me are nowhere near as bad as 99% of the stuff they say about everybody else. Right? The stuff that they're saying about review tech and freaking Boogie and all this shit is way worse than stuff that I've ever done. Right? So I don't even care at this point if people believe the bullshit. Let them believe the bullshit, and I just move on with my life. As opposed to, all right, so I disprove your bullshit. Oh, by the way, I just put myself at such great risk that now I probably have to deal with years of repercussions of me presenting that information because now people used it to hurt me in other ways. So it's that simple. I don't see the point in even bringing it up and talking about it any further. So I know a chunk of my documentary will be about that. I'm going to probably not care about that and just skip it. There's no point. So all the background stuff, before YouTube, early YouTube, all the way up, I would argue, till around probably like 2019, 2020, when it's going to go heavily into the bankruptcy and all the shit that people said about me on the internet that's not true or is based on a nugget of truth and they made up a bunch of shit that's not true. I'm not even going to bother with that shit. So even though it's a 4-hour documentary, maybe I'm only going to be dealing with 2 hours of it, depending on how in-depth he covers the recent shit that people have made up. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I'm sure that there'll be timestamps on the documentary and everything too to figure this stuff out. So, but anyway, yeah. So that's what's it's going to be probably a week whenever my doc comes out of me doing new games on the day streams and reacting to the documentary at night, and then at some point cutting it off and be like, guys, that's it. I'm not going to react to this segment. I have nothing further to say on it, and then move back like for the finale of it or whatever, however he adjourns it or ends it, right? Because we don't know how it ends. So. Yeah, see, but Danielle, here's the thing. Danielle says, yeah, but people would want to see you watch those parts that you say you want to skip. People are yearning for your take. You already know my take. Literally, everything that I had to say about it, I said in the Side Scrollers interview. So if you want my take, watch the Side Scrollers interview. I've answered everything. All that's going to happen is it's going to be like, so here's where people say this is Phil on a Discord server. No, that's not really me. That's all fabricated. That's totally not me. I've never actually had a conversation on a Discord server like that. I don't even know where they made that up from. It's ridiculous. There you go. That's my take. So do you need to hear me say that while the documentary's playing? Right? It's going to be the same thing. No, that's not my account. No, that's not my leaked bank statements. They made that up too. No, this is all bullshit. It's like the same thing I've already said a million times. So I don't need to say it again. I've already been through it. It's literally the same exact answers a zillion times. Why keep bothering myself over it? And again, that's the reason I did the Side Scrollers interview. If I just sit here during my own documentary and say the same answers, I feel like I wasted 5 hours with those guys. The interview, yeah, the Side Scrollers interview is over 5 hours long. You're right. That's their problem. If they wanted to be a better interview, they should have been more concise and focused on. I'll be honest, the Side Scrollers interview covered a lot, but it had no direction at all. They were all over the place with their topics. They weren't even prepared with certain questions. Like, you could tell they were trying to get at something, and then they never got to it, right? They'd be like, so what are these expenses? What expenses? Well, the expenses for your business. What are you talking about? Well, and then are you talking about the expenses that were listed during the bankruptcy? Like they weren't even ready. Well, oh yeah, that's what it. They didn't even know what they were talking about. What it is they watched a bunch of detractor videos, and then they tried to base an interview off of it without even having the information. They didn't put a single piece of information on screen, right? Like, where's the? If you have a question for me, show on screen what you're talking about, and then I can respond to it. Now, well, you know what we're talking about. No, I don't. Like what? You know, and then I answer honestly. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about because that's my accountant who does all that. My tax guy, like he handles it. I pay someone a lot of money to do my taxes every year. I just feed them all the info. They process it. That's what gets made. I don't do my taxes. I'd be insane to do my own taxes because I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax guy. I'd be a moron. I'd probably do it all wrong. Well, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't know? Because I don't. Because I pay someone to do it. Are you stupid? Like, what is not answer? What it is they want me to somehow admit to fault of something I didn't do wrong. So they all the interview was trying to catch me with gotcha questions, and none of them worked. So, oh, you see, well, he was dishonest the whole interview. Well, you don't have any evidence I was dishonest the whole interview. You just said that because you were a fucking hack and you didn't do a good interview. Right? But again, I've already done this. I don't need to sit here and be like, okay, here's all the shit that everyone made up about me. That's wrong. Okay, well, are you going to prove it? No, because if I prove it, now I put myself to further risk. I've already said I'm not going to prove it. So then why am I wasting my time talking about it? People, you're not going to get anywhere. It's semantics at this point. It's going in circles. I'm never going to talk further about it because there's nothing to talk about. And I've been legally advised, don't keep talking about it because if you say anything else that reveals anything about you, your business, your family, you're all going to be exposed. You know what I'm saying? Your haters can get this info and use it to do malicious things to you. So don't do it. Like, no lie. Basically, where it changed, and this I will say during the React, by the way, where it all changed is when I was in the bankruptcy hearing and a troll called in and impersonated one of my creditors. When basically my bankruptcy attorney and that judge involved saw that level of interference, they knew that my haters were going to go to any lengths to ruin my life. They knew it at that point. And they were like, okay, so yeah, so now lay it all here. You know what I'm saying? Lay it all here. Tell us the truth of what's going on. Show it to us. Show us the evidence because we're the ones judging your future here, right? Be honest with us, and then that's it. Don't expose yourself any further to any idiot on the internet because you don't owe them anything. And they're absolutely right. And there you go. And I've been fine. 4.5 years, right?
Typically helps me more than anything.